If you've taken my class on passive income in Fiverr, you'll know that I am both a buyer and a seller on Fiverr and that I have earned over $10,000 on Fiverr. If you haven't taken that class, I will provide a link in this class in case you're interested in taking the class. The other class is about Fiverr and passive income. This class is geared toward freelance income from a variety of sites. Now, how fast can you get started on Fiverr? You can get started on Fiverr immediately. How quickly can you start earning money? It takes about 2 weeks after you complete a gig, which Fiverr calls their services gigs, and it takes about 2 weeks after you complete a gig to get paid. And I put give or take, and that the reason is because you get paid through Fiverr through PayPal, and so Fiverr takes about 14 days to pay you, and then they send it to PayPal. And PayPal, sometimes they send it to your bank immediately, and sometimes it takes another day or two. So I would say, give or take, it may take 17 days to get paid through Fiverr. Now, how often will you get paid on Fiverr? You get paid 14 days after you deliver the gig. So if you deliver the gig, expect to be paid 14 days, give or take, with the amount of time that it also takes for PayPal to be paid. How can you earn money on Fiverr? You can earn money on Fiverr by completing a service or creating and selling a digital product. And I'll show you some examples coming up. And the difficulty level, it's very easy to get started on Fiverr. If you aren't on websites and you've never done an online application, so to speak, to get started, then you may find it moderately, not totally easy, but moderate. I find it to be totally easy, and I'm not a tech person at all. And what types of gigs? Again, gigs are just services that you perform. You can do everything from build or tweak someone's website. You can do data entry. You can do word processing work. You can be someone's social media promoter. You can edit a PDF. You can do technology gigs. You can do virtual assistant gigs. You can do prank gigs. Really, the sky is the limit. And what else? I mentioned about my class on Fiverr with passive income, and in that class I share with you proof of how I made over $10,000 working on Fiverr. I find that it takes about 8 hours to familiarize yourself with Fiverr. That is, you go to Fiverr, you sign up. The sign up process is just like completing an application. And then just like on your job or in college or whatever, you have an orientation. They don't call it an orientation, but I call it an orientation because it's like you take your own tour. You have to familiarize yourself with the site. I'm going to share with you an upcoming job that I have for coming up on Fiverr, and the reason why I'm sharing this buyer, because the buyer uses a graphic. You don't know who the buyer is, and they also use a handle, so you don't know who they are. You know, I use the handle Sue Heifer on Fiverr, and if you take my other class, you'll know that sometimes I use my picture and sometimes I don't. I've already sold this buyer a digital product. This buyer bought one of my PDFs, a PDF book on how to write a book. The buyer gave me an excellent review. And now I've been in contact with the buyer, and as you can see, if I can zoom in, the buyer is July 9th, 2016, and I don't know when you're watching this video, but we're still in the month of July. And so basically I want to show you this paragraph here. And this is the paragraph where the buyer, we talk about prices, and the buyer tells me his or her budget. I don't know if it's a woman or a man. Okay, the buyer says, I have a budget under $1,000, okay? And so I'm going to be writing a ghostwriting project of about, the word count, 600 words, I think about 7,000 words. And the buyer doesn't want to spend more than $1,000. And so I agreed to do this gig, and I let the buyer know that my schedule is jam-packed and that I would be able to do this project in August. And so as you can see, the dates on here, July 19th, 2016. And I'm showing you this gig to let you know you can make some very decent money on Fiverr. Here's another buyer that I've been in contact with recently. And this buyer also wants me to, and again, I'm showing this buyer because they use a graphic and they don't, well, they use their name, but you would have no way to know who this person is. And they are asking me about my outline service. And I kind of give them, this is what I send them about my outline service. And so as you can see, the buyer says, okay, timing is perfect, because I let the buyer know we're in the month of July that I wouldn't be able to do any work for this buyer until August. And so I let the buyer know that for 20 gigs, and each gig is $5. And it's about, like he said, about 100 USA dollars. I'm going to do a project. I'm going to create an outline for this buyer. So as you can see, I have upcoming work on Fiverr, and I offer writing services on Fiverr. But if Fiverr has thousands upon thousands of gigs offered by buyers, and so there is something that everyone can do, from professional services like, you know, tweaking a website or building a website, to silly services. And let's look at some silly services now. These are actual gigs where people offer to make prank calls for people. They say, I will make a prank call or blow balloons. I will be crazy in love with you in a prank video. So everybody can, if you feel like you don't have any like skills like writing or anything like that, and if you're like a college student needed to earn some extra money, or even an adult who has a great sense of humor, you might consider doing a prank video gig. Here's some other gigs. I will hold a sign for your business. I will hold a sign for you. And so these are people who are actually recording their self holding signs of people's business. And that this person does the signs in Adobe Photoshop. And so this is just to let you know that the sky is the limit. From professional services to prank services to silly services, you can earn a freelancing income on Fiverr.